Hey, what's going on, guys? Just today's episode, I'm gonna talk about fighting, procrastination, fighting not wanting to do something, whatever, because I'm literally going through that right now. I've been putting off doing this episode here. I really need to get it recorded because I'm getting ready to go out of town. But just been putting that off, and here I'm coming down to the last minute. It's getting late at night for me. I need to go early tomorrow, but I know I need to get this in because of my travels tomorrow. Might not be able to do that. I mean, I might be able to once I get to the hotel, but I'm not too sure. So just kind of doing doing this episode now. So trying to say basically that if you want to fight through something, basically you're literally gonna have to fight through it. There's no magic formula. If you're really not feeling like doing something, the best way to actually go ahead and do it is literally you just have to make yourself. I mean, there's nothing besides that. I mean, you can find all sorts of reasons to do something, find some kind of motivation. Maybe you watch something that could help, but at the end of the day, you're just gonna have to do it. You've got to think about the big picture, something like that, and having that accountability, that's gonna be a huge thing. I know that's one thing that's really pushing me to do this right now. I know, especially after this last meetup with GBL Hustle, a lot more people heard about me having the podcast, and if I don't do one day, I feel like I'm really gonna be letting down a lot of people. I'm gonna let myself down as well. I could say, well, one day, not a big deal, but it is a big deal because I said to myself, I'm gonna do 5 days a week. Now, yes, I might be letting some of you down that are looking forward to me posting 5 days a week, but I'm more than that, I'm letting myself down because I said, hey, I post 5 days a week, and then I'm almost at the point of like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. So that's not a good thing. You letting yourself down is the worst person to let down. That's the person you really should worry about the most. I mean, of course, you got a family and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you've got to worry about yourself the most. So, this is going to be a really short message. I haven't done one this short in a while, but I'm glad I got on here. I feel a lot better already, actually. And so that's another thing. I mean, if you just force yourself to do something that you know you need to do, you're going to feel better at the end of it. I do that all the time. For one example is, although I practice my faith, a lot. I go to church all the time. I talk to people about, church, Bible, stuff like that. I struggle to read the Bible. I read it. I do read it, but I don't read it near as much as I want to. I want to read it daily, 30 minutes a day at least, and I struggle with that. It's really hard for me to do that because I've never been one to read much, and yet I push myself to do that, and I fail at that. I don't do it every day, but that's something, once I get into it and actually start reading, especially the days I'm like, oh, this is the last thing I want to do. I just want to, veg out, watch some Netflix, just surf the internet, whatever it may be, the last thing I want to do is sit down and read a book, especially, the Bible. I'm going through the Old Testament right now, and so some of that is really boring. I mean, you think about some of the chapters in Genesis, it's all about the genealogy, and yeah, I can't even pronounce half those names, so it's like, I'm not really getting much out of this, but I know at the end of the day, it's good for me. Reading God's Word is always a good thing, but the thing is, I push myself to start it, and once I start it, I feel so much better. The same way doing this podcast, I'm already feeling better. I don't really want to feel more energetic right now because I want to go to sleep soon, but I am feeling a little bit more energy. And so that's the same thing with y'all. Just push through, do it, and you're going to feel way more energetic at the end. I promise it's going to make a huge difference in your life. You'll start noticing that you push through more often, and that barrier gets pushed out just a little bit more. A quote I know I've said a lot is, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And this is one of those times where you're, oh, I just want to just turn it in. I don't want to do anything. I'm comfortable right now. It's so uncomfortable to have to go and, record a podcast, record a YouTube video, post something on Instagram, something like that. Be productive in any kind of way, whatever you think is productive for you at that time. But you have to get uncomfortable in order to do, fulfill these things, to fulfill the goals that are farther down the road. And so for me, I want to be able to spread these messages. And so I have to keep promoting this stuff. I feel like I have to. I know I don't actually have to, but I feel like I have to because I want to get this message out to you. So to wrap it all up, if you're struggling to do something, how do you get through that? You literally just have to force yourself to do it. That's about the only way to do it. I mean, yeah, again, you could go watch some motivational videos. You can set a timer, say after this timer's done, I'm going to start back on it. Whatever it may be, you can come up with some little small tactics, but at the end of the day, you have to do it. You just have to go and do it. And I know that's such a cliche thing to say, but it's so true. You just have to force yourself to do it. And I promise afterwards, you are going to be so thankful you did, just like I am right now. So I hope this message hit you in some kind of way. I hope it meant something to you. I know this was a short message and maybe not a lot of depth into it, but I hope maybe my explanation and me just being raw with y'all, being real about everything, just helps you out at the end of the day. And so again, if you like this, please share it with others. Let them know what you thought. I really want to get this message out and really help people, help each other. So have a good one.